Thank you for tuning in to V News. You're watching the Daily Bulletin. Coming up next, we have your top stories. Ministries review project honoring the late President Ho Chi Minh abroad. Vietnam launches second award for external information services. Agricultural sector moves to boost effective cooperation. The Foreign Ministry and Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism reviewed a project honoring the late President Ho Chi Minh abroad during a conference in Hanoi on December 17th.
The project has been carried out on all continents since 2009, through which a number of precious artifacts and documents related to the late president have been collected and brought to home country. Activities under the scheme have also helped people around the world gain better understanding about Vietnam's history and President Ho Chi Minh's contributions to human development. As a result, several memorial sites dedicated to the late president in foreign countries have been upgraded and expanded. On the occasion, the Foreign Ministry also presented a collection of artifacts related to President Ho Chi Minh's revolutionary activities in the U.S. to the Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism for preservation and exhibition.
The second National External Information Service Award 2015 was officially launched at a ceremony in Hanoi on December 17. Our reporters will bring more details.
Phạm Văn Linh, Vice Chairman of the Party Central Committee's Commission for Popularization and Education, said the awards aims to recognize and honor outstanding authors and journalism works in the field of external information and communication. It continues affirming the role of external information service, encouraging reporters' engagement in the work and tightening the coordination among press agencies specialized in external information services between internal and external information services and among agencies, units and localities. Entries must be written in Vietnamese or other languages under the formats of print newspaper, radio broadcasting, television broadcasting, online newspaper, and press photo. They must be intended for foreigners or overseas Vietnamese people and were published on Vietnamese or foreign mass media from January the 1st to December 31st, 2015. Each of the 5 categories consists of first, second, third, and consolation prizes, which are expected to be announced and presented at a ceremony in May 2016. The first National External Information Service Awards was held in 2014 and chaired by the Vietnam News Agency.
A seminar took place on December 17th in Hanoi to discuss measures to increase the effectiveness of agricultural cooperation during the process of international integration. The seminar, jointly held by the Ministries of Foreign Affairs and of Agriculture and Rural Development, heard that, despite achievements, the agricultural sector has failed to make full use of opportunities brought by integration. The seminar discussed opportunities and challenges Vietnamese farm products are facing when entering foreign markets. A foreign ministry representative said the ministry has helped the sector overcome obstacles in import markets. Vietnam boasts 10 agroforestry fishery staples, boasting an annual export value of more than $1 billion. According to participants, for more effective integration, the sector should improve its competitiveness in terms of products quality, value, and food safety. A seminar has been held in Hong Kong to promote rice and farm produce trade. The event drew the participation of representatives from 55 rice trading businesses. Kenneth Chan, chairman of the Hong Kong Rice Merchants Association, said Hong Kong rice trading firms want to find out about Vietnam's rice and its import-export policies. From January to October this year, Hong Kong bought roughly 81,000 tons of rice from Vietnam. Deputy Head of the Ministry of Industry and Trade's Export-Import Department, Phan Thị Diệu Hà, said two-way trade between Vietnam and Hong Kong grew 21% in 2014 and 38.5% in the first 9 months of 2015. The official added that Vietnam is willing to work with Hong Kong on rice import and export. Vietnam is the world's third largest rice exporter with a total annual volume of 7 million tons. Vietnam's rice is currently available in 135 countries and territories worldwide. In 2010, Vietnam exported 60,000 tons of rice to Hong Kong, and that figure surged to 162,000 tons last year. Ministries, ministerial-level agencies and state agencies at national and local levels have been ordered to cut at least 10% of their workforce by 2021. This follows a recent decision signed by Prime Minister Nguyễn Tấn Dũng to implement a government plan that aims to reform the public employee structure in the next 7 years. The decision said the public employee reform was designed to improve the effectiveness of state management and reduce the financial burden on the state budget. The decision said the number of newly recruited public employees in each state agency would not be more than half of the number of retired public employees per year. Newly established public schools or hospitals are allowed to recruit more public employees. However, the recruitment should be strictly monitored, the decision said. Public non-business units earning revenues would be encouraged to pay the salaries of 10% of their workforce themselves by 2021, the decision said. A public officer in the commune, village and ward levels could hold 2 positions at the same time. The Vietnam National Coal and Mineral Industries Group, or VNA, is striving to exploit 2.5 million tons of raw coal and sell 3 million tons in December in order to fulfill its yearly targets set for 2015. The group set to exploit 37.2 million tons of raw coal and sell 35 million tons of coal this year. By the end of November, VNA produced 34.7 million tons of raw coal, equal to 93.1% of the yearly target and up 2% over the same period last year. It sold 32.4 million tons of coal, equivalent to 92.8% of the yearly target and up 3.5% year-on-year. In the period, the group's revenues are estimated at nearly 98 trillion Vietnam dong, roughly $4.3 billion, equivalent to 93.4% of the yearly target. The steel industry has seen record growth over the first 11 months of 2015, up 30.1% from the same period last year. This information has been released by the Vietnam Steel Association. Producers sold nearly 5.9 million tons of building steel products to the local market, gaining a year-on-year increase of 24.3% in the reviewed period. 2 key producers are the Vietnam Steel Corporation with 1.35 million tons and Hòa Phát Steel Company with 1.27 million tons, together making up 43% of the market share. The association reported that in November alone, the consumption of building steel saw an increase of nearly 30% from the same period last year to hit 593,000 tons. Industry insiders have renovated technologies to reduce costs, improve their competitiveness, and better integrate into the international market. The Vietnam Steel Association called for relevant bodies to take technical measures to better manage import-export activities to support domestic steel producers. The capital city of Hanoi recorded the 3rd straight month of export growth in November, following a consecutive decline from May to August. More details in the following report.
According to the Municipal Department of Industry and Trade, the city's 11-month overseas shipments rose by 3.1% from the same period last year to $10.2 billion. As much as $5 billion worth of goods was sold abroad by foreign invested companies through November, representing 49.5% of Hanoi's total export revenue and an annual hike of 3.8%. Key commodities posted rapid export growth rates during the period, included textiles and garments, up 15.3%, thanks to boosted shipments to the US and Japan. Meanwhile, the overseas sales of electronic components and peripheral devices climbed 2.2% due to salt shipments to Hong Kong, the US, and Japan. A 6% augmentation was seen in the shipment of agricultural products, which suffered from considerable declines in the first 8 months. The rise was attributable to 35% surge in the pepper and cashew exports, making up for the unrecovered overseas sales of staple goods like rice, tea, and coffee. In the 11 months, fair growth pace were also reported in footwear and lethal goods, glass and glass products, due to a rise in import demand from the Chinese and US markets.
Cultures of countries worldwide will be brought together at Hue Festival 2016, which will take place in the central province of Thừa Thiên Huế from April 29th to May 4th next year. According to the Provincial People's Committee, activities related to culture, tourism, festivals and arts at the event will contribute to promoting local socio-economic development. The highlight of the festival will be the opening night in celebration of 710 years since the founding of Thuận Hóa Phú Xuân, now Thừa Thiên Huế. A string of cultural, tourism, art performances and festivals will be held throughout the 6-day event. Other programs will also be organized on the sidelines of the festival, expected to draw crowds of artists and audiences. As an international event, the festival will offer a number of exhibitions and fairs featuring cultural characteristics and traditional games and dishes from many localities across the country. A roadshow to promote tourism in Vietnam has taken place in Malaysia. Our correspondent reported from Kuala Lumpur.
In his opening remarks, Deputy General Director of the Vietnam National Administration of Tourism, Ngô Hoài Trung, said the road show is part of a tourism promotion campaign to introduce Vietnam's new tourism services and visa exemption policy. He said once the ASEAN community is formed by December 31st, Vietnam's tourism sector will receive both opportunities and challenges that will require the industry to improve the quality of workforce, vocational training, and corporate governance.
With the upcoming formation of the ASEAN community, Vietnam will receive both challenges and opportunities. In terms of challenges, we need to develop high-quality human resources and promote Vietnam's tourism products to compete in new markets. At the same time, it will bring in more investments and allow us to gain more experience in this field.
Last year, around 330,000 Malaysians visited Vietnam. The 11-month figure for this year was 307,000, up 1.9% annually. It is expected to hit around 500,000 by 2020.
A lantern festival will kick off a long night of New Year celebrations at the Hội An Statue Park on December 31st. City planners said the night gala will start at 8:30 p.m. and be followed by an awards ceremony for the best Hội An tourism video clips, a wedding photo contest, and a fashion show of many designers, including Papillon Noir and Chula, a dress line originally from Hanoi. The event's organizing committee said the night will include a bartender contest, breakdance and flash mob, and local folk song and dance performances. The city will also celebrate the arrival of the 1.8 millionth foreign tourists in central Quảng Nam province. A street dance and carnival will take place at the park before holding a prayer ceremony for world peace on New Year's Eve. The city will also extend a kind welcome to the first tourist group to arrive in Hội An on January 1st by hosting them on their first day in the city. And that has wrapped up our news bulletin. Thank you for your attention. For more information, please log on to our website at vietnamplus.vn. Goodbye for now.